Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. After the Falling Star Pavilion, the Pill Tower, the Flower Sect, and the Burning Flame Valley announced the formation of the Sky Mansion Alliance, the entire Central Plains was blasted apart by this extremely huge bomb. Chaos instantly erupted across the land. The four big factions possessed extremely renowned reputations within the Central Plains. Any one of them could be considered a giant. A faction like the Pill Tower could no longer be described as a simple giant. This faction possessed an extremely frightening ability to gather people. It might have appeared extremely gentle over the years, but as long as one was not a fool, one would be able to detect the frightening strength hidden beneath this lazy appearance. The lineup from the formation of this alliance between four powerful factions was many times stronger than the Profound River Alliance before. Compared to this newly formed Sky Mansion Alliance, the Profound River Alliance was an extremely ordinary shrimp. Just a random finger of the Sky Mansion Alliance could destroy the Profound River Alliance. Everyone could imagine how much the strength of this alliance, formed by the four factions, would swell. If this large alliance were to face the extremely large Hall of Souls, it would no longer need to feel the least bit afraid. A new super faction that could match the strength of the Hall of Souls was born within the Central Plains. While the Central Plains was in an uproar over this explosive news, many sects and factions began to think. Everyone in the world thought of grabbing this giant support to gain good prospects. The strength of this Sky Mansion Alliance could only be described as shocking. In the future, few factions in this world could compare with them. If a faction or an individual was able to enjoy their protection, it would end up bringing them many benefits. Hence, on the third day after this news was released, the Falling Star Pavilion had suddenly become extremely lively. The leaders of tons of factions had hurried over great distance to reach the Falling Star Pavilion. They were all requesting to join this alliance. Yao Lao and Xiao Yan did not accept all of these requests that came from everywhere. This alliance was their only capital to fight the Hall of Souls. Naturally, they viewed it with great importance. Most of these factions were fence-sitters. They had only come to them because the alliance was strong. Should the alliance end up losing its power, these people would immediately leave. At that time, it would be a blow to the alliance's morale. Hence, they did not accept these factions, which were like rat feces. However, there was little need for Xiao Yan to worry about such matters. Due to this being a busy period of time, Feng Zunja, who had been managing the tasks in the other territories of the Falling Star Pavilion, had been summoned back by Yao Lao. During these years, Feng Zunja and Yao Lao had managed the external matters and internal matters of the Falling Star Pavilion. This was a key reason for the rapid development of the Falling Star Pavilion. Although Feng Zunja's reputation and strength were both inferior to Yao Lao, he was better at Yao Lao when it came to management. Hence, Yao Lao hurriedly dispatched some other elders to take over Feng Zunja's previous tasks once the alliance was successful. Then Feng Zunja hurried back and resolved all these troublesome tasks. There was clearly no need to doubt Feng Zunja's ability to manage. Soon after returning to the Falling Star Pavilion, he had begun to settle various tasks. After numerous tasks were settled in an orderly fashion by Feng Zunja, both Xiao Yan and Yao Lao ended up feeling a little ashamed. Following the flow of time, some factions passed the strict selection process and successfully joined the Sky Mansion Alliance. This allowed this alliance's reputation to continue rising a little at a time. If this positive cycle continued, the potential of the Sky Mansion Alliance would undoubtedly be a little frightening with the help of the Pill Tower. The four big factions had made full use this period of time to build the wormholes. Now, they would be able to rapidly hurry to each other's aid. Only then could they be considered an alliance that attacked and defended together. However, Xiao Yang found it a little surprising that the Hall of Souls did not do anything while the alliance was busy. It was as though they need not care about this alliance that could threaten them. Regardless of what the Hall of Souls did, Xiao Yang's group had decided to establish a specialized information hall after some discussions. The aim of this information hall was to investigate all of the branches the Hall of Souls had created across the Central Plains. One should always know one's enemy as well as one knows oneself. The Hall of Souls was their greatest enemy. Hence, the Alliance needed to be aware of their locations. Once the time was ripe, they might even be able to shift from being passive to being active. It must be said that the cooperation of the four big factions after the formation of the Alliance was extremely great. Within half a month, 2 of the branch halls of the Hall of Souls had been discovered. Although they had suffered some losses during the search, they still ended up gaining a lot. Xiao Yan felt the impulse to eliminate these branch halls personally, but he suppressed this impulse after calming down. Although the strength of the Alliance had been increased, they would end up in a situation where no one would win if they were to fight to the death with the Hall of Souls now. This ending was not what Xiao Yang desired, because there was still the even more frightening Han clan behind the Hall of Souls. The Alliance might be a sharp weapon used to fight the Hall of Souls, but it was also a powerful strength to deter the Hall of Souls. It must possess a powerful strength at all times. Otherwise, this alliance would ultimately end up in the same situation as ancestor Xiao Yan. This alliance was only in its infancy. Once everything stabilized in the future, the influence and the abilities of the Pill Tower might even attract some Bansheng, or even some Dosheng old demons, who were living in isolation. If it was possible to absorb them into the alliance, they would truly benefit the alliance. Hence, the current Sky Mansion alliance could not be arrogant just because of the recent increase in strength. They would only succeed in dealing with the Hall of Souls and the Han clan if they accumulated strength slowly and were always well prepared. They would quietly gather strength and wait for the proper time to unleash it. While the Alliance was searching for the locations of the Hall of Souls, the Alliance also selected some extremely powerful experts to form some small teams. These teams were created to prevent the Hall of Souls from continuing to capture the souls of the Alliance's alchemists. These small teams would roam the territories of the Alliance. They would hurry over at the fastest speed if they discovered any Alliance signal that requested help. This special protection undoubtedly pleased the alchemists from the Pill Tower. Some of the alchemists, who had been displeased about the Pill Tower giving up its neutral stance, gradually accepted the protection and the benefits that this alliance provided them with. 1 month quietly passed while this alliance was bustling with activity and unleashing a shocking potential. Xiao Yang, Yao Lao, Kaylin, the little fairy doctor, and some others were seated in a quiet courtyard within the Falling Star Pavilion. It was a rare opportunity for them to gather together. This busy period had made it impossible for all of them to free themselves. There has still been no reaction from the Hall of Souls. If I have guessed correctly, they should be waiting for the purifying demonic lotus flame that will appear in 9 months. Yao Lao lifted his teacup. He sipped from it before slowly revealing his thoughts. How could they know any information regarding the purifying demonic lotus flame? Xiao Yang knit his brows. This news was something that he had learned after spending over a decade collecting all the map fragments. How was it possible for the Han clan to know of it? The things that the Han clan know far exceed what you can imagine. Yao Lao smiled faintly and said. This is also not the first time the purifying demonic lotus flame has appeared. They have been around for many years, and probably have records of it. Xiao Yang was a little speechless after hearing this explanation. His hand rubbed his forehead without realizing it. If the mysterious light inside of his head was useless, it was really a waste to search for all the map fragments. There are still 9 months before the purifying demonic lotus flame will appear. You should also make preparations. The Hall of Souls will definitely dispatch truly strong individuals to snatch it. Hence, we must try our best to raise our strength as much as possible. Yao Lao spoke. It is not easy to advance even a little within the Dosheng class. In another 3 months, I should be able to reach the 1-star Dosheng intermediate level. At this rate, I will only, at the very most, be at the peak 1-star DKU Shin class after 9 months, Xiao Yang helplessly uttered. I am not talking about you. I am talking about Kaylin. She is a 7-colored heaven-swallowing python. As long as she is provided with enough energy, she will quickly advance to the Bansheng class. The heaven-swallowing python's physical body is strong. She will be able to fight against a genuine Do Shing. If she can advance to the Bansheng class, she will be of great help to you. Yao Lao laughed. That little girlfriend of yours in the Jiyu clan is rumored to have undertaken a retreat after leaving the ancient wasteland region. Once she exits her retreat, the Jiyu clan will have gained an additional elite Do Shing. At that time, if we call her to join us, she will definitely also be of great help. Xiao Yan could only bitterly smile after hearing Yao Lao's words. Kailin and Zuna both possessed unusually great potential. One of them was a 7-colored heaven-swallowing python, an existence even rarer than the ancient void dragon, while the other possessed the legendary divine bloodline. They would be able to obtain double the results with half the effort while training. Xiao Yang appeared ordinary when compared to them, but there was ultimately a lot of unfairness in this world. If Xiao Yang were to focus on this unfairness, he would not have been able to attain his current achievements. Although a 7-colored heaven-swallowing python will be able to advance as long as it has the energy to do so, the energy required is extremely frightening. Where can we go and find such a terrifying treasure ground? Xiao Yang softly sighed. There is a spot in this world that could help Cai Lin temper her physical body. Moreover, she is in possession of an extremely rare, 9-colored essence stone. If she is very lucky, she might even be able to evolve into an existence comparable to an ancient heaven snake king, a 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Yao Lao narrowed his eyes. He smiled slightly as he spoke. Where? Both Xiao Yang's and Kailin's eyes swiftly gathered on Yao Lao. The 9 serene deep-ground python tribe's 9 serene spring. Yao Lao laughed. His eyes suddenly looked at Xiao Yang as he said, if you wish to subdue the purifying lotus demon flame, this 9 serene spring is a place you must visit. You placed this part in previous paragraph to improve flow. Why? Xiao Yang was slightly startled after hearing Yao Lao's words. Don't tell me that you think that nothing will go wrong while subduing the purifying demonic lotus flame, just because you have reached the Do Shing class, do you? Yao Lao's eyes were a little strange as he looked at Xiao Yang and laughed. You can't even do this. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth twitched. Swallowing a heavenly flame that was ranked near the end would no longer significantly raise his strength, yet Yao Lao was currently saying that this strength was still insufficient. This a little too shocking. There is only one of each of the top 3 heavenly flames on the heavenly flame ranking. How could it be so easy to subdue this type of divine object that has terrified all beings? Yao Lao shook his head and softly sighed. I have read some ancient texts while you were in your retreat. The texts briefly mentioned some information related to the purifying demonic lotus flame. The demon flame appears once every 1,000 years, but no one has been able to subdue it even now. You should be able to understand a little more from this. Xiao Yang's expression changed. He tilted his in agreement. The birth of the purifying demonic lotus flame would attract the peak experts of this world, but no one successfully tamed it even with its many appearances. This alone was enough to prove just how frightening it was. Since those peak experts had ended up failing, Xiao Yang would not be able to subdue it with his 1-star initial level Do Shing strength. You must prepare to subdue the purifying demonic lotus flame. Yao Lao's expression was grave as he spoke. Xiao Yang already boasted the strength of a Do Shing. If he were given an ordinary heavenly flame to swallow, his strength wouldn't rise much. So if he wished to significantly raise his strength again, he would need to search for the top 3 heavenly flames. Does that 9 serene spring have anything we need? Xiao Yang asked. Yao Lao slowly nodded. He clenched his hand, and an ancient dark red scroll appeared in it. A wave of cold ripples spread the moment the scroll appeared. These ripples filled the surrounding air. It was as though a cold sea of clouds had appeared. This scroll was quite mysterious. This is a tier 9 medicinal formula that I spent a lot price to obtain. It is called the 9 Yin Yellow Spring Pill. While you are subduing the purifying demonic lotus flame, you can insert it into the purifying demonic lotus flame's body. The extreme yin force will weaken the demon flame, increasing the chances of successfully subduing it. Yao Lao rubbed this ancient scroll. He had paid a large price for this medicinal formula in order to take it from the hands of an alchemist guru. However, you need a key ingredient in order to refine this 9-yin yellow spring pill. That ingredient is the spring blood crystal. This spring blood crystal only forms at the bottom of the spring. Hence, you must make a trip to the 9 serene spring within these 9 months. There you need to obtain a spring blood crystal, and then find time to refine a 9-yin yellow spring pill. Only by doing this will you have a higher chance of subduing the purifying demonic lotus flame. Xiao Yan's eyes looked at the ancient dark red scroll. He slowly nodded a moment later. The purifying demonic lotus flame was really too important to him. Therefore, he needed to obtain it regardless of what happened. If he failed this time around, waiting another 1,000 years for the demon flame to appear again would be extremely difficult for him. It has been many years since I have prepared something in order to swallow a heavenly flame. Xiao Yang softly sighed after receiving the ancient dark red scroll. He had only refined some medicinal pills to swallow a heavenly flame, when he had swallowed the green lotus core flame and the falling heart flame. Since then, he had simply swallowed the other heavenly flames he found. There was no need to prepare anything. It was unexpected that he needed to perform these old steps again. There is no other way. The purifying demonic lotus flame is not something the 3,000 burning flame can compare with. Just imagine what kind of great being the purifying demonic lotus saint was. It was rumored that his death was because of a backlash from the purifying demonic lotus flame. Yao Lao explained. Oh? Xiao Yang's heart quivered after hearing this rumor. His face revealed a solemn expression. That purifying demonic lotus saint was at least a 9-star doshing. Even such an expert ended up dying to the purifying demonic lotus flame. His 1-star doshing strength was really insufficient. Looks like I must prepare this 9-yin spring pill. Xiao Yang slowly nodded. He immediately said, "Is the 9 serene spring managed by the 9 serene deep ground python?" The 9 serene spring is located deep underground. That place is the territory of the 9 serene deep ground python. They view that place as a holy ground. Any 9 serene deep ground python that is about to advance in rank will soak inside it. Soaking will smooth their breakthrough. However, the spring water in the 9 serene deep ground python has a dark and cold affinity. It is a mysterious training ground for snake magical beasts that are of this affinity. However, even I do not dare to venture deep into it, because the 9 serene spring is too dark and cold. Yao Lao spoke in a solemn voice. Fortunately, you possess 4 types of heavenly flames. With the heavenly flames protecting your body, you should be able to reach the deepest part of the 9 serene spring to obtain the spring blood crystals. That place can be also considered a sacred ground to Kailin. A 7-colored heaven-swallowing python is a divine snake species, while the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python is an existence comparable to the ancient heaven python king. If Kailin is able to successfully evolve within the 9 serene spring, her strength will undoubtedly soar. Yao Lao smiled and said, if she evolves into a 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, the snake form that she can transform will be able to devour an entire mountain range. It will even be able to devour the sky itself. Xiao Yang nodded. The 7-colored heaven-swallowing python was by itself rare, but the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python was even rarer. Even during ancient times, it had sparingly appeared. He would not doubt Cai Lin's strength after she successfully evolved. Since the 9 serene spring is managed by the 9 serene deep ground python, they will naturally stop us from entering. Xiao Yang voiced his thoughts. The 9 serene deep ground python was also one of the 3 great tribes within the magical beast world. Their strength could not be underestimated. There would definitely be true peak experts present. It was likely that this trip would not be relaxing. With your current strength, there are extremely few in the 9 serene deep ground python tribe that can defeat you. Those old demons that hide themselves will not appear often. Of course, should that really happen, you can tear the spatial token. I will frequently be with Ancestor, Hu Yun during this period of time. We will hurry over if we are summoned. With the current strength of our Sky Mansion alliance, we have nothing to fear from them, Yao Lao laughed. Xiao Yang smiled after hearing Yao Lao's words. The Falling Star Pavilion might not be comparable to the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe, but the alliance had formed. With the alliance's strength, there was no longer a need for them to be afraid of the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe. In that case, we should leave tomorrow since we are pressed for time. Xiao Yang also understood that they were a little tight in terms of time. They were approaching the time when the purifying demonic lotus flame would appear. He needed to refine the 9-yin spring pill before that event happened. Otherwise, if he ended up failing to subdue the purifying demonic lotus flame, he would not even be able to regret failing. You can rest assured that I will ensure that the matters of the alliance are taken care of. Yao Lao smiled and nodded. The moment the sky turned bright the next morning, Xiao Yang led Kailin, the little fairy doctor, and Qing Tan out of the Falling Star Pavilion. They hurried to the Beast region. This was not the first time Xiao Yang had headed to the Beast region, so he was quite familiar with the route. His strength had soared. Naturally, his speed was many times faster. The journey, which would have taken a couple of days in the past, was made in half a day. Xiao Yang's group did not stay in one place for long after having entered the Beast region. They headed to the region where the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe was. The true settlement of the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe was deep underground, even though they had many branches on the surface. The numbers that this tribe boasted could be ranked at the top of the 3 large clans, but its large numbers resulted in its bloodline becoming impure. Based on the estimation of the elders of the 9 serene deep-ground Python, the ancient bloodline of all the tribe members of the 9 serene deep-ground Python would be exhausted within 100 years, if this continued. At that time, the 9 serene deep-ground Python would end up in a situation where they were similar to an ordinary magical beast. Many arguments happened within the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe because of this matter. However, without the supplement of an ancient bloodline, it was only a matter of time for that day to come at the rate they bred. The 9 serene ground abyss was a key tunnel that led into the underground world. It was also occupied by the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe. Hence, the defenses were quite tight, but these tight defenses were something that only deterred ordinary experts. With Xiao Yang's current strength, such a defenses would not even be able to detect his figure. Xiao Yang's group appeared on top of a mountain a short distance away from the deep abyss. Xiao Yang glanced at the tight defenses, only to shake his head. He was just about to activate the spatial strength to bring everyone into the deep abyss, when the rushing sound of wind was suddenly emitted a short distance away. A couple of figures flashed and hurried over from the horizon. They appeared above the deep abyss within a couple of flashes. These people, they seemed to be members of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Xiao Yang looked at the few figures as surprise flashed across his face. There was a tendril of Dragon Phoenix bloodline inside his body. Naturally, he had a special ability to sense the blood of an ancient Void Dragon, but he was surprised to find that he would meet members of the ancient Void Dragon tribe in this place. Could it be that Zi Yang has sent them? However, she should be out resolving the matters of the other 3 great dragon kings. Why would she dispatch people to the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe, since they have no relation with them? Xiao Yang frowned. A thought quickly passed through his heart as a fluctuation spread from his body. This fluctuation swiftly spread apart. Soon after this fluctuation spread, a halting voice was transmitted into his ear through the air. Dragon King, dispatch. Dragon King. Xiao Yang's expression changed after hearing this term. He naturally understood that the ancient Void Dragon tribe had been divided into 4 factions. Other than the Eastern Dragon Island that Ziyang occupied, the other 3 large dragon islands were all being controlled by 3 great dragon kings. This title, Dragon King, was only used to address those 3 island chiefs since they possessed great power. They are not people sent by Ziyang. Instead, they are from the other 3 large dragon islands. Xiao Yang frowned. He had not received any news related to the ancient Void Dragon tribe, after having left the Eastern Dragon Island back then. The island was located within the empty space. Regardless of how intense the battle that erupted between them was, it would not be able to reach the Central Plains. It was likely that no one other than the ancient Void Dragon tribe themselves knew that they were in a civil war. I wonder which Dragon King has sent these people. They have left empty space to come to the 9 serene deep ground Python tribe. It is likely that they are up to something. Xiao Yan's eyes flickered. Ziyang should have successfully exited her retreat after so many years. After she exited her retreat, she would definitely need to resolve the civil war of the ancient dragon tribe. However, if she wished to unite the ancient dragon tribe, she needed to first finish off the 3 great dragon kings. Although Xiao Yan did not know how strong the 3 great dragon kings were, they were definitely genuine Do Xings. Nevertheless, Xiao Yan did not know just how many stars they had reached. It looks like I need to find time to enter the empty realm and investigate. Ziyang's strength might have soared after her retreat with the help of the Dragon Phoenix bloodline, but those 3 great dragon kings are also quite extraordinary. I must head over and lend her a hand. Xiao Yan muttered to himself within his heart. Moreover, if the ancient Void Dragon tribe was successfully united again, its strength would definitely soar. With his relationship with Ziyang, he would be able to pull the ancient Void Dragon into the alliance. At that time, forget about the Hall of Souls, even the Hun clan would not dare to underestimate them. Xiao Yan's eyes looked at those few figures from afar. The few of them chatted with some leaders at the deep abyss, before the leaders of the abyss opened a path and allowed this group to enter. The ancient Void Dragon tribe usually looks down on the other magical beast tribe. I wonder why this Dragon King has dispatched people here. Xiao Yang frowned. He immediately waved his sleeve. A rich spatial force spread and wrapped around Cai Lin's group. After which, space shook as everyone disappeared. A couple of figures were rapidly rushing toward the dark underground. These few figures were quite strong. Moreover, their physical bodies also appeared extremely powerful. They did not unleash any Do Chi. Their bodies were like falling stars that flew underground. The sound of whistling wind continued to appear. Commander Qin, I wonder if we will get a reply from the 9 serene deep ground Python tribe this time around. If they are willing to lend a hand, we will be able to completely defeat the Eastern Dragon Island and be victorious in this war. A man turned his head while descending. He asked a large man, who was a short distance in front of him, a question. This person was clearly quite powerful. Even though the sound of the wind was extremely loud, his voice still managed to be transmitted into the large man's ear. We should be able to succeed. Our northern dragon island once possessed the essence blood left behind by the ancient heaven serpent. These 9 serene deep ground pythons are going crazy while searching for things that possess their ancient bloodline. Additionally, we have agreed to provide them with all sorts of benefits. They will definitely not be able to reject us. The large man in front had a square face and extremely thick eyebrows. He vaguely emitted a pressure. Clearly, he was someone who was usually in a position of authority. However, there is a true dragon emperor on the Eastern Dragon Island. A man hesitated for a moment before speaking. The royal bloodline within the ancient Void Dragon tribe pressed upon an ordinary warrior. Just thinking about their enemy being an ancient dragon that possessed a genuine royal bloodline would cause the hearts of ordinary ancient dragon warriors to feel a little unnatural. It is pointless to say all of this. Moreover, who knows if it is the truth? The Dragon King is someone with a genuine royal bloodline. We only need to listen to his orders. That large man knit his brows as he replied in a deep voice. Understood. Those people from earlier could only submissively agree upon hearing the large man's words. HMPH. That large man called Commander Qin coldly snorted in his heart. His huge hand was waved. He was just about to increase his speed when he saw a couple of figures in the air a short distance below. His indifferent eyes slowly swept over them. These are not members of the 9 serene deep ground Python tribe. Be careful. That large man was a cautious person. He cried out in a deep voice after seeing those few figures. His muscles began to tense up at the same time as he prepared to enter the battle-ready condition. Those in front, get lost. Commander Qin clenched his fist as he cried out in a cold voice. Stay here. I have some things to ask. A skinny figure from that group slowly lifted his head when he heard the cold cry. That person was Xiao Yan. At this moment, he had lifted his hand and clenched it in Commander Qin's direction. Attack. Commander Qin's expression became cold after seeing Xiao Yan lift his hand. A majestic Do Qi immediately surged out of his body. However, this Do Qi had just surged when he was stunned to discover that the surrounding space had completely solidified. They were just like puppets being controlled by another and had lost all ability to resist. They slowly descended and stopped in front of the skinny figure. Who are you? We are members of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. A great storm rose within Commander Qin's heart after seeing that Xiao Yang's random attack could restrain all of them. He was a 5-star Dozun no matter how one put it. However, this strength did not pose the slightest resistance to the hands of the person in front of him. Are you people from the Northern Dragon Island, Southern Dragon Island, or Western Dragon Island? Xiao Yan glanced at Commander Qin and asked in a faint voice. Commander Qin's eyes immediately shrank after hearing this question. Only the clan members were aware that the ancient Void Dragon tribe had split into 4 islands. How did this human, who had suddenly appeared, know such a secret? I do not know what you are talking about. Commander Qin did not reveal anything despite feeling shocked in his heart. Instead, he simply cried out in a stern voice. Xiao Yan was expressionless. His finger gently pressed on Commander Qin. A bloody hole appeared on his body with a bang. Blood immediately flowed from it. Commander Qin's blood was like a small stream as dripped into the abyss. You? Commander Qin's body trembled after suffering this attack. His eyes furiously glared at Xiao Yan. Bang bang bang. Xiao Yan's expression did not fluctuate because of Commander Qin's unyielding attitude. Xiao Yan continuously pressed down with his finger. One bloody hole after another blasted apart Commander Qin's body. In an instant, fresh blood covered Commander Qin's body. That appearance caused a couple of people's scalp to turn numb. The body of an ancient void dragon was extremely strong, but this strong physical body seemed just like the weakest bean curd in the hands of this young man. Every finger could create a hole in it. According to the rate of the blood flowing out of your body, you will completely lose all the blood within your body within 5 minutes. You should be aware of the final fate of an ancient void dragon, who has completely exhausted its blood, right? Xiao Yan indifferently explained the situation. Commander Qin coldly trembled after hearing this explanation. The strength of the ancient void dragon was similar to other ancient magical beasts. All of their strength originated from their bloodline. If their blood was exhausted, they would become vulnerable. Even if one were able to regain one's strength in the future, one's strength would still gradually weaken. This was something that ancient dragon warriors, who desired strength, were unable to endure. We are from the Northern Dragon Island. Who exactly are you? Our Northern Dragon Island has never offended a strong person like you. Commander Qin inhaled a deep breath of air and finally replied in a hoarse voice. What is the current situation of the ancient void dragon like? Xiao Yang slowly asked. At this moment, the ancient dragon tribe has already descended into a civil war. The 3 great dragon islands have jointly attacked the eastern dragon island. However, it has ended up in a stalemate, because a new dragon emperor has appeared on the eastern dragon island. Moreover, the dragon emperor has summoned back those ancient dragon elders who were training in the empty realm. Their strength has soared. Commander Qin hesitated for a moment, but he finally replied honestly after experiencing Xiao Yang's methods. Has it finally begun? Xiao Yang frowned slightly and sighed quietly in his heart. Ziyang was not having an easy time at this moment. What is your aim in coming to the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe? Xiao Yang asked. To form an alliance with the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe to deal with the Eastern Dragon Island together. Commander Qin clenched his teeth as he answered. All of you have abandoned the pride of the ancient void dragons. You are planning on seeking external reinforcement to deal with your internal conflict. Xiao Yan's expression changed as he cried out. This is the decision of the three great dragon kings. It is not something that we can control. Moreover, the matter of the alliance has already been discussed with the 9 serene deep dragon tribe a long time ago. We are only here to receive their reply this time around. Even if you capture us, there will be others who will come. What other reinforcements has the three great dragon kings seeked out other than the 9 serene deep dragon tribe? Xiao Yan was quiet for a moment before suddenly asking. Commander Qin's body immediately tensed upon hearing this question. Speak. Xiao Yan pressed his finger forward, sensing Commander Qin tense up. A deep cry was emitted. They have invited the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe has already agreed to lend a hand, but they want the three great dragon kings to agree to capture and hand the new dragon emperor to them. Commander Qin's heart felt cold after sensing the desire to kill from Xiao Yan's voice. He hurriedly replied. Bastard. Xiao Yan's expression turned gloomy after those words sounded. He had not expected the three dragon kings to act this shameless. Not only did they break the rules of the tribe and get other tribes involved in an internal conflict, but they had even promised to hand the dragon emperor of the tribe to their former enemies, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. These three bastards. Xiao Yan's eyes were dark and dense. He clearly understood that if the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and the 9 serene deep ground python were to form an alliance with the three great dragon islands, Ziyang's Eastern Dragon Island would really face imminent danger. This video will end here.